Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Dicing with Death.
Yo.
So,
Well,
you have gotten Thrace's mine of copper and can begin minting coins if you so desire and distributing them to the population.
yeah, we'll set up a mine. Thrace has never heard from again.
He is not hurt. He might come back at some point, but for now, he's off and away. There are just a couple of questions. We don't need to delve too much into the economics of society.
Well, we'll do.
But we should do a little bit. Yeah.
So I want to ask who would be in charge of the mine. I mean, we obviously get it up and running, but we'll need miners. I don't think Heifer will want to be doing the day-to-day, but he's probably the one that needs to set up all right, here's what you bring me, and he's doing the smelting or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Is there a person in town that you know of that you would like to appoint to this position, or would we like to discover a new NPC?
I can't think of anyone. I think we'll discover a new NPC. It could have been Thrace, but he decided to get all uppity about it.
He really, yeah, that did not go well.
No. No. I don't think Akitos has any interest, does he? So we need to find someone to be our new, I don't know, director of mining, or master of coin.
Might be the same thing in this situation. I should probably put together an NPC list at some point.
Yeah.
I just have scattered notes, but we will create a new NPC. So why don't you roll me a d6 and we'll figure out this person's sex and age. It's going to be an elderly woman. You know who decides to take up this job? The elder's wife.
Oh, the elder's wife. Gotcha.
The elder's wife. She's always had a good head on her shoulders. While the elder might have been the one running things, she's the advisor behind the scene who helps guide and direct his decision making and give him sage advice. She is trustworthy. She is capable. She has lots of experience in managing people, and she has a connection to the legitimacy of power in this area, so people will happily follow along.
So how big is this copper vein? Does it just keep going and going? Is this going to be a...
It is a deep vein. You will be producing a lot of copper.
Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to mine a bunch of copper and mint our first coins, but we're not going to give them out yet. So the coins will have a head on both sides in the likeness of the artistic interpretation with features of Devon and Helen, but also of Dorboth and Guam. And the first...
Are you saying you're going to make multiple coins, or...
No, this is no. The first batch of coins will all be the same. There will be a male head on one side and a female head on the other. And they will bear the likenesses of Devon and Helen. But maybe stylized or mixed with Dorboth and Guam.
And these going to be side profile heads?
Side profile, yeah. So maybe it'll be mixed features or ambiguous. I mean, maybe there's not even obvious likenesses of the gods. And the first batches of coins will be given out to citizens of Necrot at the wedding.
Ooh.
And the next day, taxes will be announced, or maybe the day before. At the same time, taxes are announced. So what's going to happen is all of these coins will be given out, and then 30% of them are going to be collected on tax day. Nice. But it will still feel like a net positive, right?
Right.
And along with this, we'll also be establishing the citizenry of Necrot And it will be like everyone who happens to be in the town at that date will be granted citizenship, and everyone who shows up after is not going to be in the records and will not be getting their like annual like mineral rights or whatever from the town mine.
Everyone in town on the day of your wedding is a citizen.
I think it will de facto be something like that.
Okay. And gets a state stipend.
Yeah. It's not going to be called a stipend. I think it'll be similar to like Alaska citizens get like a cut of oil profits.
Right. Same with United Arab Emirates and a lot of the other OPEC countries.
Yeah.
Not a lot, but some of them.
So
yeah.
Every citizen of Necrot will get a share of the copper. Maybe it will be all of it, and just taxes will then come. So it'll be like all the copper that's mined that isn't like some of it's probably set aside and used for like construction type things and not turned into coins. But all the coins are then distributed to the citizens of Necrot, and then everyone pays taxes. So initially, I think everyone's a citizen, but as the town grows beyond like the first 1,000, there will be people that show up that aren't citizens that have to pay taxes just to exist there.
Well,
or there'll be like paying taxes on sales or something like that. I don't know how taxes work. That's for our mistress of coin to figure out. But
then she or you will need to appoint a head of tax collection. That's going to be an important job. You're going to need someone with some serious big stick energy. Someone that can't be denied.
I feel like that's probably below Kronos' pay grade.
Yeah. Well, the Elder's wife will see to it then.
I don't think we have enough NPCs to be doing this.
Yeah, I mean, this is a problem for later.
This would have been a perfect job for you. I feel like a former Romulan could be well suited, but maybe not.
Well, that can be sorted out closer to the wedding date because you don't need a tax collector until you're taxing people.
No. We have this apprentice. Shall we see if she can learn the hold portal spell?
Yes. You will have been teaching her and training her, and you will give her access to the spell book, and she is at the point where she can try to learn her first spell.
The trouble with hold portal is it scales with level. So having a level 1 apprentice holding the portal only gives me 1 round. You can't make a scroll until you're 9th level, right? So it's not like she can make a hold portal scroll for me to use.
Right. Or you can't make a hold portal scroll for her to use. Oh, you don't have the spell, though. Yeah.
How much use could we get out of 1 round?
What do you want from this spell? From this gateway?
Well, after seeing the riches of the plane of Earth, I want them. So I was imagining opening a portal to the plane of Earth, having the apprentice hold the portal open, and then have Heifer and/or Cronus come and mine the plane of Earth.
Yes, but you need to hold it for round after round after round.
Right. Well, how much crystal could Cronus
pull in a minute?
Get in a minute. Right, it gets like 1 fell strike with an enormous pick or something.
Well, 60 seconds is a pretty good period of time. If you got a giant swinging a giant ass pick, you should be able to pop out chunks.
Let's see, minor disintegration. AoE is like a small solid object made from a single material entirely in their hand. Could I use minor disintegration to disintegrate?
You have to hold it. You have to be able to
Must
like
be
close
fully
your hand
contained,
around
so
it.
I couldn't like use this to like claw out a chunk of wall.
But maybe you want to create a different level of disintegration. You know, this is minor disintegration. Maybe you want lesser disintegration, where something you touch rots and fades away. Do we have like a necrotic touch spell?
I think so. I don't think it would be necrotic. It won't be death, though. It would be...
Right, it would be a disintegration, but I thought there was some sort of disintegration touch spell. Maybe that was a whatchamacallem, a necromancer's thing. Oh, it was withering touch.
Oh, yeah.
But we would be looking for some sort of
6th level disintegrate, causes matter to vanish. AoE is one creature, or a 10 by 10 by 10 cube. Staining is permanent.
So you can do 10 by 10 by 10 at 6th level at range.
Does disintegrate do damage, or does it just insta-kill?
I think it's save or die.
Disintegrate 6th level wizard spell.
Yeah, disintegrate is save or die.
Holy shit.
Which is maybe not that super useful against powerful things like, you know, dragon saving throw is pretty good. You're unlikely to
And
disintegrate a
magic
dragon.
Resist on top of that.
Yeah.
Still.
And the action economy would be not favorable for you to waste something on a low success chance. But what could we do? What is halfway between full disintegrate and minor disintegrate?
I think
Just
lesser,
lesser?
disintegration. I think it would, instead of being ranged like disintegrate, it will probably be your hands. So I think it will basically be an upgraded version of minor disintegration, except instead of having to fit entirely in your hands, you can claw away. Right, so it like causes your touch to disintegrate, like cause you disintegrate whatever it is you touch.
Right, so you could basically like thrust your hand into stone and out of it, and it would just like turn to sand essentially in your hand as you like reach in.
And unlike disintegrate, which like, let's see, because physical matter to glow and vanish, leaving traces of a fine dust. I think this would more just like cause it to crumble and fall apart. So it's not gonna like make gold disappear. It would just turn gold into like a gold powder.
Okay. And I think the volume should be less than 10 by 10 by 10.
Far less.
Yeah.
Right, 10 by 10 by 10 cube. Maybe it lasts like one round per level or something like that, and you can move like a cubic foot per round or something like that.
Okay. Only if... Yeah, because 10 by 10 by 10 is 1,000 cubic feet. So that will always be better than lesser disintegration then. And if you can do a cubic foot per round and it lasts a round per level, that seems pretty fair. How does it interact with living organisms? Could you like disintegrate through a person?
I think potentially. So we could have it do some set amount of damage per round.
Okay, but then you would need like a touch attack every round, so that way it wouldn't be on...
Yeah, just make it you could use it to touch attack every round for, I don't know, what do you think sounds fair? Is this going to be a second or a third level spell?
It's at least a third, maybe a fourth.
Why do you think it's third?
Because it feels like you're doing a lot of matter changing, and like if knock is second level and you can just dig your way through a door with this, then it feels like it should be higher than second. So it should possibly be fourth.
So dig is 4th level, and that AoE is a 5-foot cube per level.
But dig wouldn't move through stone, whereas this,
Yes,
with this spell, you could just walk up to a wall and like.
Okay, earth, sand, or mud.
Right, because you could walk up to a castle wall with this simple disintegration, lesser disintegration, and just like claw your way through it in a couple of rounds. So that seems pretty bomb, pretty beefy.
Okay. That said, 4th level is also dimension door, so you could teleport through it. I think
4th level is actually really.
dig. Hold it. I think dig you can dig through. The spell is also effective against creatures of earth and rock. Particularly calls that elemental plane of earth. It deals 46 damage. That's actually pretty weak sauce for a 4th level spell. Tunneling is possible. Yeah. Like, I think dig has some rules in some of the extra books about how to use it to siege a castle and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think dig is prevented from excavating rock.
Well, it says 125 cubic feet of earth, sand, or mud.
Rock is earth.
It is. Earth is a term with a lot of definitions. It could be rock, or they just might mean dirt, you know? Spells effective against creatures of earth and rock, particularly clay golems from the elemental plane of earth.
Let's see. There's something in combat tactics about dig. The spell allows the caster to dig through earth ramparts at the rate given in the spell description. Okay. That's all it says.
Yeah, I think 4th level is quite appropriate for a.
Okay. Well, then forget that. I can't do 4th level spells.
Well, we're skipping around in time, and there will be some other things. This can be something that you work towards, and we can rule later. I like the idea of this like handheld disintegration spell, though. Just like being able to dig through things seems pretty solid.
Right, there's also the destroying armor and stuff. So this could get fairly powerful. So the reason I was trying to gauge spell level was to figure out how much damage to associate with it.
Yeah, and if you're going to be like digging through people, it will require an attack roll. Which will then provoke opportunity attacks. So I feel like the damage can be sort of high because you're going to be in a super fucking risky position when using it. And if you're going to be digging through walls of stone, it makes sense that the damage would be pretty high. I'm in favor of doing something with a really wide range, like, 2d12 or 3d12 or something. Or, you try and scrape at them, but you only like catch part of their arm versus like you scrape and you catch, part of their guts.
Yeah, let's see. Vampiric touch does d6 per 2 levels. Is that only 1 touch? It's only 1 touch, but then you regen that. I'm trying to think of other touch spell attacks. Chill touch is 1d4 per round. It's a 1st level spell.
Stone Shape is 5th level.
Stone Shape?
Yeah, which would also sort of be in the similar vein to this
Stone
disintegration.
Shape is a 3rd level priest spell.
5th level wizard.
Yeah.
But I think Stone Shape, I think that only lends credence to this being 4th, because Stone Shape you could use to do all the things that you could do minor disintegration with, essentially. Like, you could build a tunnel, but then it also gives you other options and makes it... And it's also 1 cubic foot per level. I think, 4th is perfect for us.
All right.
And I'm not seeing a lot of other touch spells at higher levels. Surprisingly, or unsurprisingly, once you get past like level 1 or 2, there's not a lot of touch attack spells.
Well, there's always, let's see, cure critical wounds.
Oh, clever.
It's a 5th level pre-spell, does 3d8 plus 3. But that's not really meant to damage. It's more meant to heal.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe just 1d12, right? If you can do it for multiple rounds, I think doing a d12 every round seems fairish, right?
6.5 damage on average.
You've got to make attack rolls.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it ignores armor, or does it just damage armor?
Oh, yeah. I think it would completely ignore armor and
then I think and
hits.
do 1 point of AC or like reduce the AC by 1.
Yeah, reduce AC of anything hit by 1, or maybe force it to make a saving throw or be ruined. One of those two is great, but I don't. One of them is swingy. One of them is steady.
Yeah.
Do you want swing or stead?
I'm not thinking in terms of min-maxing it, which sounds more. It could be both, like whatever is more convenient, or whatever the DM feels like doing. The save is probably easier from a bookkeeping perspective, right?
Right.
Rather than having to keep track of a bunch of penalties.
Yeah. We could even say that it could be something like if you're wearing metal armor, the first attack will destroy the armor. No.
Seems a bit unfair, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I think just, save or break.
Mm-hmm.
And do we have a save versus disintegration? We do. Oh, God, it's a terrible save. For metal, it is a 17. For anything other than metal, it's a 19.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's maybe too extreme. What do you think?
Maybe a little heavy.
Could be based on the damage dealt. Like you could just have to roll, like the saving throw is the damage dealt. Right?
What do you mean?
1 to 12. So you have to roll higher than whatever you roll on the damage roll.
Ah.
Right. So if you roll a 1, then the armor is basically undamaged.
Right. And if you roll a 12, then the armor has a 12 out of, or an 11, a 55% chance of being destroyed on max damage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. I can get behind that.
Or you could yeah, I don't know. What do you think? Or we could use a different saving throw, like. Because that's like save if you're caught in a ray of disintegration.
Mm-hmm. That's true. The armor factor is an interesting one. Yeah, maybe just reduce. Yeah, it's pretty subtle though. Okay. It's kind of a crappy track at this point.
Maybe just reduce by 1. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, I think maybe reduce by 1 is the best way to go. Duration is going to be 1 round. Level. level. Casting time is 4. AoE is what? Special. Save.
AoE's touch, right?
Touch. Oh, AoE is touch, yeah.
Or is AoE stealth and range is touch?
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I think the AoE is like 1 cubic foot or something like that. How much do you think you can dig in a round?
Yeah, I think if it's not like perfect, if you have to like put your hands in and it disintegrates before you slowly, you could do a cubic foot per round. I think that's very solid. Let's see. Dig 1 cubic foot per round. Let's see. There's an attack.
Do you think it's just one hand or is it both?
Damage. I feel like it should probably just be one hand. That will probably make it a little bit easier to do.
Yeah.
All right, here's maybe too crazy of an idea. What if the damage you do is dependent on the creature's size, and so it's like an inverted scale? The larger the creature, the less damage. But if you like have lesser disintegration on your hand and you bat at a fairy, like even if the fairy's got like 30 hit points, it feels like the fairy should probably disintegrate.
I mean, it's not. I don't think it's like you touch something and it melts. I think it's like it slowly corrodes or falls apart.
Okay. I can get behind that. Components. This is when you become a brawler wizard, and then you cast Minor Disintegrate and make like 3 attacks per round.
I mean, I'm already a martial artist.
Yeah. When you get this, you can start doing like physical attacks of D12 damage instead of D4.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that is that. Doesn't have a page number. What school is this? Alteration, probably?
I think so.
That's what disintegration is. Just regular disintegrate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alteration, somatic material components. Major disintegrate has a lodestone and a pinch of dust. What do you think the material components for this should be? Minor disintegration has no material components.
I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of material components, but right, it's not like you're shooting a ray. It's like you're
touching. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, I think some sort of sand or dust or powder.
Okay.
Some sort of something that's very small, and that coats your hand.
Okay. What is? Let's see. Disintegrate, a lodestone, and a pinch of dust. Should it be the same?
Yeah, I was just gonna say sand, dust, or powder, and to cast a spell, you just like cover your hand in powder and then just say the words.
Okay. Well, I am about 20,000 experience from level 7.
Oof. Well, I did. So originally, I wanted to sort of power level Devon so we could do some magic item creation. Was like the end. Was what I really wanted to get with here. So I am sort of comfortable skipping swaths of time and sort of skipping levels so that we can get to the higher level stuff. We don't need to play through every aspect of Devon, especially if between from August to December you went from level 1 to level 6 as a dual class character. I think if we then skip another 8 months, you should be able to skip a level or 2.
How much experience do you get for getting married?
I think that's actually just like a multiplier on all of your experience you get thereafter. You know, you just get 50% additional experience from all sources when you can go home and tell your wife or husband or whatever about it. Retelling of the story is the real XP. And then, you know, when you get corrections on how you should have behaved, that's where the real gems come.
Do I get corrections on how I should have handled that mining situation?
You gotta talk to Erin. See what she says.
Van didn't get this because he skipped his own wedding.
Yeah, Van didn't talk to his wife. He neglected her, so he doesn't get any XP bonus from her. You know, you have to equip and use your wife if you want to get bonuses from her. You can't just like toss her in the bag of holding and expect her to like have an aura of exponential experience growth. Okay, so we've got copper coming out of the hills. We've got a tax club. Well, we've got a head of mining. We've got a spell to do. Sort of figured it out.
So there's not going to be a way to open these portals to other planes for construction purposes yet. How am I going to pull mountains from the earth, Neal?
Well, you get a little higher level first. And your apprentice needs to learn her spell.
Yeah.
How much int did she have? 13?
12.
50-50.
She's doing...
12? Yeah, she only has 12. Okay, here we
Should I
go.
roll it?
Oh, I was just going to roll it. But you can if you want. I mean, if you want it to be you, you can do it. Or we can keep what I just rolled.
What do you think, chat? Is Neal the apprentice or am I the apprentice? Roll it. Why is she so stupid? Oh my god.
Says the person with less than 12 int.
What do you mean?
10-0. Anyone thinks that they have above average intelligence probably has below average intelligence.
I'm gonna hold my tongue then. All right, I'll roll it.
Why don't you roll it? Yeah.
Success. My useless apprentice knows hold portal. I feel like what other spells are useful for an apprentice to learn? Detect magic. Mending. Mending could be good.
Oh yeah, mending is hella useful.
Yeah, can we teach her mending?
Yeah. Let's give her a spells page. Give her her spell.
She does not learn mending.
Ah, what a shame.
Magic missile? Nah.
No, she doesn't need that. She needs
Pattern
that
weave is
cantrip and shit.
interesting. She needs
Yeah,
cantrip.
pattern weave is wild magic.
Oh, it is.
Wild. Yeah.
She should probably learn read magic. Unseen servant could be useful. I guess I'll do read magic, and here's read magic. Nope, she can't read magic. How does it work without read magic? Do I just have to like translate it for her?
Yeah, I think you're her teacher and you're instructing her in the ways.
No unseen servant. She's just literally she literally holds doors open for me.
Well, what else do you need an apprentice for? Make you some tea, make you some coffee, some chicken soup, bring you your books.
We could teach her a different light spell.
That's true.
Or the revealed doors. She could learn wizard mark. That could be interesting. I didn't bother to learn that. She could leave my mark on things for me.
Yeah. You gonna learn it?
Haven't decided yet. I feel like we should give her a fire spell because that was Burning Hands is in Adia's scroll. So do you feel like Burning Hands or Ignite?
I feel like
Extinguish?
Burning Hands, she was already halfway there. I would give her a 75% chance to learn it instead of just a 50 because she was already stumbling on it herself. Fuck.
79. Should we do Ignite instead?
Sure.
Or just let her keep working on her Burning Hands?
Let's grab some Ignite.
Okay. So she learns Ignite, or Extinguish/Ignite.
Right.
It's Extinguish, but it's reversible.
Yeah. Excellent.
There's this other version of light that lights a room.
Oh, the evocation version.
Yeah.
I like it. Pretty
The
bomb.
trouble with these spells is they scale. The way they scale with level makes me not want to give them to apprentices.
Because it's so much more useful for higher level characters.
Right. But, meh.
Well, you know, your apprentice has to get something. You know?
Yeah.
You guys can end up with the same shit if you want.
No. There's
give it
also
a-
revealed doors is also a cool one.
Ooh. That saw some use yesterday.
Yeah.
Tombs of Scoria.
Yeah, I saw at least part of that. I'm not done with the VOD yet, but
Well, give us a light spell.
let's actually do revealed doors because that does not scale with level.
Okay.
Okay, so she's got revealed doors.
Mm-hmm.
How many more spells does she deserve?
Let's see, she has 3. She can hold 7.
I mean, we eventually want to give her Burning Hands, probably read magic.
Mm-hmm. Probably detect magic.
Yeah, I'll have her learn the other detect magic. I think that's in one of these. I think
The normal detect magic.
Yeah, let's give her the normal detect magic.
Because you have the enchantment.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's on Adia's scroll. Cool. She's got detect magic.
4 out of 7. And I believe she is a generalist as well.
Yeah.
Maybe at least one self-defense spell.
Okay.
Oh, she was going to do
Magic-
Burning Hands, right? But she failed, so she's
Right.
going to try again. I think Magic Missile is a
Yeah.
fine spell for an apprentice.
Ooh. So close. All right, magic missile. Ask her what she wants to learn. Excuse me, who's the teacher here?
She doesn't know what she should learn. She doesn't have that sort of experience
Yeah, I
yet.
might have accidentally just got a tutoring proficiency.
That's true.
I have a spare proficiency slot, I believe. Do I get any experience for this process? I feel like you should. I feel like you should get experience for teaching people spells. Like maybe if you are tutoring someone through a spell learning, then both get experience for it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I figure you're going to have quite a bit of leveling just from your own research and whatnot. I was gonna just kind of skip ahead to a level rather than
not even bother. Just skip ahead to level 7.
Yeah.
By the end of the session, which is fast approaching.
Mm-hmm.
Did you said you had some plot points you wanted to cover? Was the copper mine the only one, or are there more?
No, there were some other things I wanted to touch on. So we did Thrace and the copper mine, which then followed into taxation and a form of, like, at least some basics of government, which all kind of came from the same idea. What was the other thing I wanted to do? Yes, I wanted to mention that Atropos has been the long-time soothsayer of this region. For generations, people have gone to her as like the wise woman who can see the future. But with the rise of Necrot, people have this sense of hope, and there is a non-weird, sketchy, rapey woman who you can get answers and solve problems from. And the people stop flowing towards Atropos, and her name doesn't quite leave the lips of the people, but slowly sort of fades from the relevance. And I think you don't see or hear from her or about her until you decide to go back to her, and she kind of just like is probably still in her cave, but you have little call for her, nor do the people around you.
She does have an apprentice.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have anything in mind that would bring me to her? I'm sure I will go visit her at some point. It's probably a few months. But
no, I have nothing to bring you to her, only to say that this is one of these ancient, I don't know if ancient is quite the right word, but one of these like natural powers that is being eclipsed by the might of industry and cooperation and the rise of civilization. There's less need for Atropos, and she disappears into the background for a while.
Have I any curiosities to share with her? I mean, I should bring her a fresh supply of troll blood.
Because you wish for potions?
Or she wishes for, she could use some potions.
Mm-hmm.
Do I have any other gifts to bring? Not particularly that I can think of. Well, at some point I will stop by. I will bring like a tankard of troll blood. I'll probably bring my my mask to share Heifer's creation with her, like as a symbol of the I don't know, the gifts of industry and magic. Yeah, maybe if there's any fresh delicious food from Necrot that would be hard for her to come by.
All the foods are hard for her to come by, for she rarely leaves her cave.
Right, so I'll bring her a picnic basket or something full of whatever.
Okay.
And a bottle of wine. Do we have a vineyard up and running at this point?
Well, yeah, if we're into... Actually, if it was winter, you plant the vineyard, it grows all season, you harvest in like the summer or autumn. So I think that not quite, no.
Okay.
Witch Mountain is a little exciting for it. Did you have anything else that you wanted to do? There's a few more things I can get to, but I don't want to like jump ahead.
I was visiting Atropos.
Was
that there was we didn't need to play that out. Everything was normal. I don't know what you.
Yeah, she's got her apprentice. She's sitting in her corner of her cave. Oh, that might also have been Helen.
No,
that was
Cassandra,
Hera.
you mean. Kara?
Hera.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
How is Hera holding up? She gone mad yet?
She has not gone mad, but Atropos has gone fully blind since you last visited her. Her eyes are fully milky. She can no longer see at all. The woman is old. She's been around for longer than anyone remembers, and everyone sort of expects her to be immortal, but maybe it's just a very slow aging process, or maybe she's been struck blind for her wicked ways. Whatever the case, she can no longer see with her eyes, and Hera has become her eyes and her ears and her hands, taking care of every aspect of life. Similarly, their clothing has degraded. I mean, Atropos has always had sort of dirty old rags. Now that Hera is living here, she too is finding her clothes tattering and tearing, and she has bound what remains into, sort of like a what do you call it? But like she has taken the shirt that's fallen apart and taken it into strips and bound it around her torso and around her hips.
Ooh, I'll make a note to bring them clothes, fresh, clean cloth, and what else did you say they were missing?
Food, clothing,
I bring food
eyesight.
and troll blood. I wonder if it would be possible to teach Atropos spells at this point. Could I teach her my version of clairvoyance so that she could see again? Can I?
Yeah.
Will she be able to use Watchful Ward? So I brought this mask to show her, and I find her unable to see.
If she knew Watchful Ward or your version of clairvoyance, she would have some version of sight again, for certain.
The second version of the spell is a duration of 1 round per level, during which time the wizard may switch between various masks if they have one. So I can't cast it on a mask and hand it to someone, right? The spell is cast on the wizard. It says range touch. Let's see.
I guess it's range touch, so you could enable anyone to see through it.
Well, that might just be the mask. The second version, when the wizard wears the inward mask and casts the spell, they see as their face was the outward mask. What do you think? How did you intend it to be used? Is the caster the only one that can use it, or if the wizard creates a link between the two masks, can someone else look through it?
I think there's a link, and then the link gets activated. So I don't see a reason why it would have to be the caster. I think you could cast.
The way it's cast, the wizard may switch between various masks if they have more than one.
So I think the idea is that masks have like a magical link between them, and then you sort of empower yourself to charge that link, almost like putting a battery in a walkie-talkie, and you could like shove that battery into yourself or into another person.
Okay.
But whoever you cast it upon would be then the only person who can use the masks during that casting.
Am I able to catch Watchful Ward and hand Atropos this mask?
Yes, if you wish. Yeah.
Keen to show off my creation. Yeah. Atropos, would you like to see what has become of Necrot?
Devon, come here, my son, my boy.
She like grasps for your face. She quickly brings it from your face down to your leg and like runs up your shin to your knee and grips your thigh and says like,
I
the
intercept
hairs of your leg so different than Hera's smooth skin. How
I
I've
give a
missed
concerned
the
look to Hera.
texture of your flesh.
I give a concerned look to Hera to make sure she's all right. It's like Stockholm syndrome full on set in.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
She
I
looks
will-
at you with, jealousy as Atropos strokes your
God.
legs.
I intercept with the mask.
Mm-hmm.
We have a metal worker now, a craftsman. Through him, I have built this mask. Would you like to see what has become of Necrot?
Show me.
How the tips of the spires are beginning to poke their way through the earth. Towers will rise. I think it's just So I cast the spell. I cast Watchful Ward to create the link, and place it on her head. Place it on her face. Is she able to see, or does her blindness prevent it?
No, it is a magical effect, and her blindness is a physical effect. So she is perfectly capable of seeing through her mind's eye and out through the mask on the other side. Where is the other mask right now?
I think it's hanging in front of, like, above my front door or something like that in town. So she can look out and maybe crane her eyes to the left and see Platos' shrine, and to the right and see the Quanat, flowing water. Maybe there are people about.
Yeah. There are people in town going about. She can't hear what's happening, I don't think. I think it's just vision. And she gazes out across the folks. Says,
Necrot, what a bustling metropolis it is now. You are well on your way to achieving your destiny, Devon. Do you remember your destiny?
Tell me again, Atropos. Remind
you will
me.
touch the sky. You will drink the clouds. Your people will grow. Your city will grow.
I imagine Hera sitting there just like foaming at the mouth with jealousy.
You will face many challenges. You will be visited by friends, enemies, and frauds. You will have an interesting life.
Oh, what a curse. Tell me, do you still learn spells? Do you have a way to read with your hands?
I still have the magic within me, even though my age marches on and my body fails me. Magic stays with me stronger than ever.
I have a crystal ball that I enchant, transform into an eye with which to see from a distance.
The Eye of Fate.
Perhaps. I believe it is a spell of Seltzer's creation. Perhaps I could teach you and let you borrow the ball for a time. I don't have it with me, but
The teacher,
perhaps
the
next time.
student has become the master. Bring me these spells. Let me gaze upon my assistant's flesh again.
Again, a concerned look over to Hera. All right. Defon promises to return, bringing these things, but undoubtedly it will be longer than he intended or longer than he meant. But
Yes.
come back at some point with the crystal ball, maybe with both masks, so she can use it to see. Certainly with fresh cloth, so that they can fix their rags, upgrade their rags. right. Were there other events you wanted to discuss?
Let's see. There was.
We just had the copper mine, Atropos.
No, there was one more thing. Your buddy Kronos, he is a growing boy, and feeding him is a bit of a problem. He consumes quite a lot. He's also quite capable of going out and sort of bashing heads and whatnot on his own. And one day, Kronos comes back into town, wounded and bloodied. Not just from his own blood, but someone else's blood is dashed across his face and seems to have soaked into his amulet.
Kronos, my boy, you're wounded.
Yeah.
What happened?
He gives you the closest thing that the young ogre can muster to a steely gaze, and lets you know that he had an altercation with one of the other giants in the area, who chose to move into his family's old home, which Kronos has been sort of maintaining off and on. And when he found another giant within there, he marked him, waited for his time when the giant was sleeping, came in to bash his skull open. A fight ensued in which Kronos was wounded, and then he tells you of the fifth power of the Amulet of Valthara that he has discovered in this combat. A Burning Touch ability, where Kronos, after being stabbed and cracking open someone else's arm, he reached out with his hand, grasped the other giant's face, and a fire burned in his hand, burning each of them. And he'll lift his hand to you and show that it has the cross with the V of Valthara burned into it in like a charred, blazed, scarred mark, and the rest of his hand is like twisted by fire damage as well, but there's this like very clear burn impression of Valthara on his hand.
Yikes. As I'm hearing this, I will be administering probably just one potion of healing, one of the troll blood ones.
Okay. The burned flesh on his hand will heal, but the burned scar of Valthara does not.
Mm-hmm. What of this giant? Do they live?
Of course not.
Kronos,
That will reduce the giant population by 1.
Kronos, I understand who your patron is, but you are meant to be a leader of your kind, not a killer. Show these giants, show your kin the way.
Ponders. How?
I do not know. I do not know your people, your culture. That will be for you to discover. But look at Krob, how we lift each other up, what we built together. I don't know what the equivalent would be for giant kind, but the giants would be stronger together than fighting amongst each other. There you go. Ayo. Vengeance doesn't have to end in death. Just brand him and maim him and send him on his merry way. And then you've got twice as much vengeance in the world, because you're both going out there holding grudges.
He considers what you have to say and tells you that he would like to build a shrine to Valthara here in town. and adorn the altar with the troll blood, the beating troll blood heart in the mask of Remus. And when he tells you this, he's telling you, but he's really asking for permission to build a temple to Velthara.
Very well. We must find a suitable location. You think Necrod is the place for this? Not your, not the cave from which you came, where this all began? Or maybe the crack of the Cyclops?
That piques his interest, and he will go and build it in the Cyclops' cave.
Yeah. Is that better than his home cave?
That sounds like a way better place to go build a remote temple to Velthara, where people can come and speak about their desire for vengeance, sort of in secret, without having to do so quite so publicly. It might serve Velthara's needs a little better if this place is further removed from society.
Yeah. And when he is ready, I'll help him relocate the troll fountain, the blood fountain, and return the basin, the altar of Velthara, to its original place. I think I should make more of these masks of what you call them?
Watchful wards.
Watchful wards. If as Heifer has time.
Yeah.
I guess I only have enough gems for one more pair of masks.
Okay.
But if he can prepare it, I will give up those gems. And maybe place this next mask in the Temple of Velthara, or outside the Temple of Velthara. For now. I mean, I guess they can be moved wherever, right? It's just a mask.
Right.
You can, like...
You can pick it up and move it around, but you might want multiple wards and a room from which to use them. Because each pair of masks is solidly linked. And I don't know if you want different masks to have different outsides. So that way, if you're like... Because if they're all the same mask and you're like walking with your bag and they like tumble on the ground and you get them mixed up, then you have to start casting spells to know which ones are which. But if they each have their own shape to them, they can easily be identified.
Yeah. I need more gems. I need to conjure an elemental plane of earth and mine some gems from it. Is Kronos going to live in the Cyclops cave eventually? Or is he just setting up a shrine over there?
He is going to set up a shrine. His fate is uncertain. He does have his nice little home that he has come to love. It's been his place of residence and makes him a member of society. If he goes and lives in that cave, he's going to sort of lose his connection to Necrot, and that's not exactly his plan as of yet.
Oh. Well then.
No, I don't think he wants to move.
Yeah. Where was the Cyclops' cave?
Oh shit, we deleted the token, but I think it was here or here.
Okay. Okay, so that's actually pretty easy. Less than a day for a giant.
Yeah. I want to drag another one of these. I think it was here. We'll just put it here. Well, the last thing I would want to touch on is you have mentioned multiple times that you want to build a tower.
Yeah.
That is a construction feat that will require either skilled specialists or multiple giants to work for you.
Is Akitos not considered a skilled specialist?
Akitos is pretty good, but he can't build a multi-story tower by himself. And you would need good stonemasons or giants to do the work for you. You could find some dwarves maybe, but you'd have to travel pretty far to get some dwarves. So here, I guess your options before you are a journey to find some dwarves, a way to bring the giants into this, or to make this a goal of your civilization where your people all pitch in and work on this tower, and it's like a central point of community construction. Those are the three avenues I see towards the construction of such a tower.
Or magic.
Or magic, yes.
I think getting some dwarves could be an interesting goal. Like, we're trying to get craftsmen.
Mm-hmm. Well then.
So there's that.
I believe then our next quest for Devon would be to go somewhere, to find where dwarves live, to go to them, and to bring them back to you.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, and I think Kronos may or may not unite giants to our cause, or he may make them bitter and vengeful and fight amongst each other. Yeah. So, yeah. Are we thinking this dwarf quest will take place before the wedding? Will that be in the next months?
Yeah, the wedding's not till August. That's, end of summer. So yeah.
Cool. Will that be next session?
Yeah, that'll be next session. We will wrap it up here for the day then. So that's it. We're sort of kind of stepping away from levels so we can fast forward a little bit. I'm sure by the end of our next session you'll hit 7-7 or something.
Yeah.
Or
and then
8-8.
we'll need to figure out 4th level spells. I don't think I have any source for 4th level spells.
Yeah.
So we'll have to find some new spells.
9th level you can make scrolls. 12th level you can make rods, wands, and staves that recharge. 15th level is where you can make permanent magical items.
Yeah.
Is that right?
I think it's 14th.
14th. Yeah, I think it goes 9,
I think
11,
you can make
14.
magic. I think you can make magic items at level 12 or 11, but you don't get permanency until. Let me see.
I created a lesser and a greater permanency so that you don't have to be 8th level to get permanency. Or 8th spell level.
Lesser permanency is a 7th level spell.
Yeah, so it's only 14th level that you need to be to get that. And that is where I would like to head with Devon, is to lesser permanency and to creation of actual magic items. So I'm happy to skip ahead a few levels and then adventure for a while at 9th level, and then maybe adventure for a while at 12th level, and then adventure for a while at 14th to kind of give a long-term view. Because I think there is a lot of interesting things that can be done just regarding magic item creation. And I think that would be super fun to do.
Yeah, I'll need to figure out what magic items I want to make. Yeah, 7th level spells at level 14. But before then, there's charged magic items, right? Isn't that what enchant an item does? That's a 6th level spell?
Yes.
Hatch the stone from the egg. Did you make that spell?
I did not.
Who names the shit? Enchant an item. 5% risk of draining a Constitution.
Enchant.
Oh, the
and-
permanency reduces or drains Constitution.
Right. Permanency will drain your constitution. That's greater permanency, I think, when you... Oh, no. A magic placed on an item is permanent unless a permanency spell is used in finishing. This always runs a 5% chance of... Yeah, okay. I think when you cast permanency upon yourself, there's a 100% chance that it drains a point of con. But when you cast it on an item, it's only a 5% chance. Yeah.
And change an item are super vague.
Super vague.
Huh.
The spells and magic has some rules for magic item creation, which we will probably follow more closely because they're more well defined.
Yeah, we're like halfway there.
Yeah.
7th level warriors get the extra attacks, don't they?
They do.
Nice. We're not skipping any levels. We're just going to power through them.
Mm-hmm. And with that, we will head out for the day, I believe.
Yeah. Thank you for watching. Anything to plug?
No.
Like, follow, subscribe.
Comment below. Smash that button. Do the thing. Follow. Join the cult. Sacrifice chicken. Spill your blood. Don't spill your blood, kids. Don't summon goats in your basement, please. Get your cat to lick your face. I don't know. Yep, we're out. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.